Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Pass these down to Linda. All right. And now we will move on to the public comment session. We've got 7 folks that wish to speak. I'll call you up by name. If I can read your handwriting, it would be great for you to do that. First up is Brandon Funk, I believe.
Hey, thank you for your time. I just would like to discuss pickleball. That's my latest passion anyways. I've got 5 children, and 4 of which play pickleball as well as my wife. And my youngest is 2. He likes to play pickleball a little bit. He tries to anyways, but not quite old enough. So, we have these beautiful tennis courts that were newly built, and my thought, my proposal would be to paint pickleball lines over the existing tennis court nets, or surface anyways, and you don't have to tear anything out with doing that. You can actually add a portable net to the existing tennis courts. You can actually fit 2 pickleball courts per single tennis court, 1 on each side of the tennis net, and you can have a rollaway net that you can just roll off to the side should tennis players show up to utilize that. The pickleball nets that a city like Goodlettsville has are about $400 a piece. You could actually take the nets, or the nets that are there, you can utilize maybe just 3 of them instead of all 6, and still utilize the capability to do pickleball and tennis. But I've really enjoyed playing pickleball this last probably year and a half since I started playing. Met a lot of good people, and it's a sport that a lot of different age ranges can play together and play, and have fun, play competitively. Chris here, how old are you, Chris?
I'm at 68.
68. So my boys, they're not all here, but I have a 17-year-old boy and 12 or 14-year-old boy, 11-year-old girl, and 7-year-old girl. They may not ever get the opportunity to play a sport with someone like Chris here, and as well as other people that I see here that play pickleball. So my thought would be, I'm familiar with a man that does tournaments. My thought would be just kind of raise some money. I don't think it would cost that much. We'd have to get approval, from you all for doing lines. But we could host an event to raise money for the nets and maybe donate the nets to the city. But obviously we'd want to have the lines as well. And I think doing a tournament like that would bring in enough money for the nets and possibly even some for the pickleball lines themselves. And I think it will just, add another factor to different age levels of the community being able to intermingle and play together. And I love the sport. My son, his brain is a pickleball at this point. So mine probably is too, if I truly admit it. But anyways, that's what I wanted to present to you all, and I'm more than happy to get you in touch with this gentleman who runs it's called Dinksville is the name of it. He's based in Nashville.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. All right, thank you so much.
You got the timer going?
Kevin, can you speak to the pickleball courts that are going to be in the rec, so that you kind of know?
The new rec center will have an auxiliary gym that will have at least enough for 2 courts in that auxiliary gym. And of course, we have a humongous gym that will be at the bottom level that'll have enough for I think it's going to have 6 basketball nets. So I mean, there's enough space to probably do 4 pickleball courts at least there. So in the time being, before we construct brand new ones, which we plan to have at our new Byron Park, that can serve that purpose. I know it's not perfect, it's not outdoor, but that's the current plan for that right now. But
Next up, Chris Taylor.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the Parks Board, City Administrator Herman. My name's Chris Taylor. I am a USA Pickleball ambassador. If you're not familiar with USA and Pickleball, we're kind of the governing body. We do the rules, you know, try to get it organized across the country, promote pickleball. But the other thing is, this organization, we provide grants and training and aids for parks and schools and community centers where some of this equipment, you know, if you want to work and get a grant, you can get them. But I want to just reiterate everything you say. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the United States. And it's actually a phenomenon. It's a sport where anybody can play. The learning curve to get into pickleball is a lot easier. But what we're seeing, like as far as you're thinking about your community, when people start to think about where they want to settle and where they want to retire, pickleball is now becoming a really important part of that. Like if you're familiar with the Villages in Florida, it's an older retirement community. They have 250 pickleball courts that stay full. They have about 1,000 people a day playing pickleball. And so somebody's thinking about, I see people all the time moving here from California and Chicago, and I usually meet them on the pickleball court, and they're saying, well, you know, where can you play around here? And so as a community, you know, you need to think about this and as a long-term plan with when you're doing your parks and your master plan. Pickleball it's not a fad. This has been growing. I've been doing this for 8 years, and every year it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The other thing, it can be a boost for your tourism industry. Because again, if you do have a tournament, you know, there's small tournaments like 100 people. I've been to tournaments with 1,600 people. That's over 3 and 4 days. So that's people coming to your city, staying in your hotels, eating in your restaurants. So that's tourism dollars coming into the community. So I'm very much an advocate for pickleball. Not only am I an ambassador, I'm also a coach. These are my fellow pickleball players here tonight. But again, just really, this is something that's going to continue to grow, and it's something you really need to have, you know, a clear understanding of what this is going to mean to the future. So thanks.
Thank you. All right, next up, it looks like, I think it's Aubrey Mouser. Did I get that right?
I just want to say, I say pickleball courts bring the community together from all ages. It's great to have. I know we're having them in the new Civic Center, but there's some people that aren't even able to make it at the times we have them now. If we get the outdoor courts, people will be able to make it. Even people who are not even able to make it at nighttime will be able to show up occasionally on Saturdays or Sundays. That's all I really wanted to say. Go pickleball!
Next up, I think is Paul Gibson.
Evening. My main thing is the Greenway. I've been here numerous years. I just want to know when it's going to be completed. I know we have, I think it's First Baptist Church on 31, and then it's the sidewalk. Whatever happened to expanding it from that end into the park? I mean, it was said it was supposed to be completed 2007, 2008. We're in 2024 now, and we still got nothing going from that end to the park.
Where exactly?
31W.
Oh,
right across from the cemetery.
Technically we've installed, like the city has, you know, sidewalks and everything that technically connects back to the park. And I don't want to speak for Jerry, but you know, that's kind of the best I guess we can do at this moment without, you know, getting people's property.
When Indian Ridge was built, it kind of blocked the ability to bring that pathway around, and then you have a big farm, Cape Farm, we didn't have access to that without taking their land from them. You have to be careful about taking people's farmland from them. So it just kind of blocked us, so that's why we decided the alternative would be to have that wide sidewalk to connect our north trailhead all the way to the south trailhead with sidewalks to take you all the way to the center of the city. So that we thought was our best alternative at the time. So
is there any way to put another sidewalk on the Matco side of 76 to the park?
yeah, we'd like to do that. I mean, it stops at the fire hall, and then it would be nice if we could get a grant to extend it. We've applied for different grants. That's how we've been able to do these sidewalks. And that would be another one that we would like to look at, connecting that side too. I agree with you, especially with apartments going behind Mapco.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Brenda Causey.
Hi. I just wanted to talk about the benefits of pickleball and maybe let you guys know a little bit more about it. I don't know if any of you all play. I know that there are a lot of physical benefits of pickleball. I know I feel a lot better when I go out and play. I'm not a gym person. I'm not going to go to the gym, but I will go out and do something fun that I enjoy doing. So I think that it's great for older people, younger people. My mom and I have played together tournaments, and then my nephew and I have played together tournaments also. So it's something that brings families together. It brings new friends together. And I just had a question too about, you were talking about the new gym that's going to be built, but it sounds like there might be some barriers to us using the outdoor courts, the outdoor tennis courts, and I'm just wondering what those are and how we can help to,
I mean, I guess all I can speak to on that is that they're, tennis courts. And I guess when we originally designed them, I guess there's a little bit of animosity in some communities between tennis and pickleball. So we just wanted to dedicate that strictly to tennis at the time. And then, knowing down the road we plan on designating, pickleball courts for just pickleball. So I think that was the thought process. I don't want to speak too out of turn on that either, but that's...
Plus the high school uses.
Yeah, high school uses it, that's for sure.
So they were built for the high school?
No, the high school utilizes them just like we utilize some of their space when we need extra gym space. But with the new rec center, that kind of alleviates some of that. But the high school does utilize those courts, and I mean, that is part of what they do. We don't have pickleball teams in schools right now, so we do support our community in that venture.
Okay. Well, I think that there's a lot, probably more pickleball players than tennis players in Pike House.
I think it's a growing phenomenon because, when we've done community surveys in the past, and pickleball hasn't even been an item in the last ones that we did. So I think the last we did 2 or 3 years ago, and but we have had a lot of people come here in the last couple of years, thousands actually. And so we're starting to see that. So I mean, we had some forethought of it. That's why I don't think we have that out here, the master plan for the Highland Park. But anyways, we do have pickleball courts planned for that facility. When we were building the tennis courts, this was a thought that started a couple of years ago. And by the time we got it, now pickleball. So if we're kind of stuck, people would like to take over those courts and make them pickleball courts, but the tennis folks really like the fact that now they got some nice tennis courts.
Right.
The ones that we had were pretty wore out, and so they really need to be replaced. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But now that it's coming, it's hard to keep up. But we're building these tennis, where are we going to build some more courts? And so right now we have a plan for Fire Park.
Okay. Well, I think that there is ways that other communities have worked together with the tennis players and the pickleball court people. I think that we can work together. It's not I don't think it has to be exclusively just tennis courts, but we would appreciate your consideration to do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the tennis people feel about having extra striping when they're used to having their court designed the way it is. If they start seeing other lines, I don't know if that's confusing the tennis player. I'm not a tennis player. Is anybody in here that can speak to that? I don't know. So it'd be nice to have some tennis folks in here who could help us explain, and maybe that's something we'll have to do in the future.
Well, there are a lot of people who have played tennis and have switched over to pickleball, and vice versa. But mostly, I think they can work together. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Stephanie Mitchell.
I wasn't planning on talking about pickleball, but now I really want to. I am a tennis player, and I would say that lines do not matter when you're playing tennis, but that's just my personal opinion. But I'll talk to you later. I just came up to, so I'm an adult that doesn't have children and I work business hours. So most of the activities that are currently available and that will probably be available in the future don't apply to me because I can't play pickleball at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday. I can't go to knitting class at the library at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday. Like, those are just not things that I can do. I would love to see activities that I can participate in. I want to do something after 5 p.m. or on weekends. And I know that the facilities, there's some limitations, like the library closes, that type of thing. But with the new community center, I'm not sure if there's other facilities that could be used. I just want to make sure that you don't forget about us, us adults who can't be present during business hours, essentially. We want to do stuff. My husband and I are bored. We have a big property here, but we would still like to do something other than mowing the lawn or picking weeds or whatever. So anyway, I just kind of want to make my voice be heard on that I'm not alone. I know other adults who would like activities. I mean, I saw back there cooking classes. I think that's great. I would be super excited to do a cooking class. You know, just anything that will bring more community engagement for this there's kind of a middle ground of adults in White House that want to do things. I mean, there's adults with kids who want to do stuff without their kids. So just things like that. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there and let you know that we're here too, and we'd love to participate more and be more active in the community. We just need the options to do so. So that's all.
Thank you for bringing that up, but I just want to say that, I mean, eventually, and maybe not at the very beginning when the rec center opens, because we're going to have to make sure we're staffed up right and everything like that. But yeah, with the new rec center, we plan on that being open till, I mean, just open to the public. And, you know, obviously it'll be open later possibly if we have our own programs going on, but it'll be open till at least 8:30 every night and open at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. I think Fridays maybe we close a little earlier, obviously, because we won't probably have people showing up on a Friday night. But and then Saturdays it'll probably be closing a little earlier too, like 6 or 6:30. But yeah, I mean, the adult programming is something we focused on more on sports because that's just the way our community has been over the years. But obviously, you know, we've grown and gotten a lot different demographic here that are interested in doing those types of things. So yeah, please, I mean, if you have more people that are interested in doing stuff like that, you know, bring them our way, because that's kind of how we gauge on how we're going to offer things. Because, you know, a lot of times we'll get people saying, well, we want kickball or we want this or that, and then we go to do the sign-ups and we get nobody signing up for it. So it's really how we gauge it is, you know, where's the interest, you know. So if we're going to put a lot of resources into it, we want to make sure that we get, you know, enough to actually do it. So
I'll ask our librarian too about maybe doing some evening adult programs to see what that might be helpful. I didn't realize it was in the daytime when you couldn't go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we gotta check with her.
I mean, I don't want to knit, but.
No, you already said you were knitting. That's what we're doing.
So we got somebody who wants to do knitting.
Knitting and cooking.
Cooking and knitting.
I'm not that old.
Great. Next up, Debbie Martin.
I'm here also for pickleball. I have a few questions. You talk about, is it Byron Park?
Mm-hmm.
When will that be finished? And how many pickleball courts are planned to be there?
all right. Thought I could zoom in, sorry.
There you go.
Where are they at?
There you go.
Gotcha. So it looks like at least 4 from what I can tell, right here.
And when will that be finished?
That's a good question. We have a few projects that we're finishing up over the next few years, and then we have to, of course, focus on the infrastructure of Byron Park first. But I mean, it seems like pickleball is pretty popular, so I would think that'd be one of the first things that we put there. So yeah, I mean, it could be, you know, it could be a few years before.
Like 5 to 10?
I think
I
that
don't
would
wanna
probably
speak
be
to
a reasonable range. We're talking, because where they're shown as being located, it's off North Palmer, I think the first thing we probably wanna do is build the road into a parking lot, and the pickleball courts are the very first thing, so that could be the very first thing that gets built. There's gonna be some multi-purpose fields in there, a nature, trail and.
So definitely not in the near future, right? We're looking at.
Not in the first few years.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we're finishing up the soccer, she's gonna go over some of the things we're finishing up now, soccer complex, we got a couple more things at City Park. And we still have the gentleman that sold the farm to us, he still lives on the
Right, so
farm.
there's a lot of unknowns, so it
Yeah,
could be pretty far down.
It could be in that 5 to 10 range, I
Okay.
think, before you start seeing that, but you're definitely got our ears tonight about pickleball.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, I would also like to speak to the tennis courts, at the White House Park. Whenever we do show up there to play pickleball at the tennis courts after the, because there's only a narrow window, 10:30 to noon, that we can play pickleball in the Civic Center. Every time we show up, it's pickleballers that are there. I don't ever really see tennis players there. So I know that the school uses it, the high school uses it, but I would also like to say that as a taxpayer who lives in the city, I raised all 5 of my kids here in schools in here, but not in the school system. So I never utilized any of the resources that were given to me. I homeschooled all of my children. So I would really like to utilize the resources that are here for me. And as far as the lines and animosity, I don't know about that. But I promise you that the tennis court lines would not confuse us when we play pickleball. We're used to it. We have basketball lines that we have. There's all kinds of lines. You clearly know where your lines are. And it doesn't seem to be a problem in so many cities. Williamson County, I had to join a tennis club out there to play pickleball one day. And all of their tennis courts were also pickleball courts. Every single one. This was a tennis club. So I don't think that would be a problem. So I would really appreciate to play outdoors with my family. I would like to play with my husband more. And I can't play with him because it's all closed up outdoors, and preferably before 5 to 10 years. I think that it could be done rather quickly. I think it's very inexpensive. Others have spoken to resources that could be available to you. So I would like to appeal to you to maybe appeal to the tennis people who have animosity to pickleballers.
I want to be clear, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as a Parks and Recreation professional, that's all I hear from multiple communities is that is a thing. And so I do want to say that it may not be close by communities here, but I'm just saying nationwide,
Right.
It is a thing.
Well, like I said, anytime we have gone, and we have gone to the tennis courts to play pickleball and just do our best, that is what it's filled with, is pickleballers. It's not the tennis players.
Do they remove the nets for that?
No.
They play with the same nets.
They play, yes, but it's not fun, because you're running a lot, and it's much bigger, because a whole pickleball court is half of the tennis court. So when you're running and playing full tennis court trying to play pickleball, it's ridiculous. There are some people who do come out there with tape measures and chalk.
I mean, there are lines, and you can use half of the court and play. I have done that playing pickleball on a regular tennis court without the pickleball line.
Right.
I'm not opposed to pickleball. I've played it myself. But there is an ability to play on an existing tennis
Sure.
court without the pickleball line.
Yes, but there's not the ability to actually play with the net going
Not
the
a
right
tournament
way.
or anything like
Right.
that. But you have the ability to play and exercise and get outside.
Sure, you have the ability to play and exercise to get outside, but you do not have the ability to play within the lines and to do it the right way. You can adapt and it can be fun-ish, but it's not the same as the real pickleball court. And it really wouldn't take that much to put some lines out there and some nets that we can just roll in and out. And like I said, you've been given lots of suggestions on resources that can be done, and we don't even mind fundraising at all, so it doesn't cost you anything. So, I'm not here to ask for a $33,000 Christmas tree. I would just like some lines on the pickleball.
Tourism dollars paid for that, by the way.
All right. And that is all that we had signed up to speak, and we do appreciate your input. We know that it's out there and people want to do it, so we will take it into consideration. All right, moving forward, everyone have a chance to take a look at reports.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I did just want to mention a couple things, that we're, targeting an opening date of, Memorial Day weekend for, the splash pad, and we're gonna try to keep it open as many days as we can, at that point, but we're gonna kind of be at the, mercy of the contractor getting the, new tank and everything in, but he says that it's supposed to be here in May. I don't know when in May, but it shouldn't take very long to get it in. But then, of course, we'll have to do everything on our back end of it. But we're gonna try to do everything on the front end we can, testing everything out, so that it's minimal days for us before it's up and running. So
Does he have a target date in May when it will,
he
will
didn't
it
give a
take?
date. He just said it'll definitely be in May.
So they said they ordered it a couple of weeks ago, and, so.
And have we determined the times and days it'll be open?
Well, you know, I've talked to Mayor, and I know we're concerned about parking is the biggest issue, but especially on Wednesday, so if we're gonna have a down day, I think we always had a down day anyways during the week for maintenance, we definitely wanna be Wednesdays,
Right,
for sure.
because of the senior luncheon.
Yes,
Right.
because of senior luncheon, so that's a for sure day we would like to be closed, but the other days are, I'm hoping if we can get it up and running, we'll have it up and running, just people might still complain about parking, but that's just something that's a little.
I mean, my hope is that it can be open as much as possible, because we did kind of promise that, so I would like to see us fulfill that.
Sure.
And I just wanted to mention, I know we're gonna talk about the master plan, we can kind of decide this tonight after that gets over, but, we are gonna need to approve the final draft, before the April Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, because then it'll need to get approved there as well. So I didn't know, and like I said, we can decide this after, but I didn't know if you wanted to have another meeting prior to the, April Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, to go over the final draft, or if you just wanna, if this goes well tonight and you feel good about it, and then I can just send out the final draft through email, we could do it that way, it doesn't matter to me. So I guess we can just address it at the end or now, it doesn't matter to me.
Another meeting, yeah.
Okay.
Another meeting.
So we'll try to do it, I guess, the week prior to, the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting. Do we wanna do it, earlier than usual, or 7 o'clock on
Whatever
Thursday
time
or
works
Tuesday,
best for
whatever?
everyone.
Okay.
6 would be fine, if everyone's able to do that, or?
I'm open.
Yeah, we can discuss that after, like what time and this.
All right, and I just wanted to mention that, I did apply for, the 2024 LPRF grant. That's to renovate our concession stand, at the park, and get a new storage and meeting building, for baseball and softball. This is something that's been in the works for many, many years, and greatly needed there. Dog park parking lot, and then trying to put a shade structure at our, tennis courts as well, so. But I likely won't hear anything on that for a while, months. And that's really the only things I wanted to highlight. I don't know if they wanted to highlight anything or not, so. All right, I'm good.
That's it? All right, moving on to action items, monthly report.
Yeah, I didn't know if
That's
you
it?
guys had
That's all you
anything,
want?
but yeah, I mean, that's, if you guys have any questions on it, go over good. And I don't have to do anything on the cemetery report because we don't do that. We do that every, quarter. I gave it the last time, so we're good on that.
Okay. All right, moving on to old business, rec center update.
I think it's going well. I mean, we had our meeting yesterday with the contractor, and, you can see they've got the concrete in for the first floor on the half, that's not the gymnasium. The second floor, they've got the concrete up there. They're already starting to put electrical in, and heating and air conditioning elements are going in, ductwork is going in. The track now has got the base metal down, so they're probably gonna pour that next week. It's a nice wide track, I like it. It looks pretty good, it looks pretty big in there once you walk down and you start walking around the space area. So they've got their schedule, they're staying at it, and hopefully they'll, our goal, end game is somewhere around the end of the year, and shortly thereafter, we should be able to open it up. That's gonna be a key thing for us. With basketball season, we're trying to make sure we coordinate that. I mean, Kevin and his staff, Selena, I know she's heavily involved in already looking at the type of fitness equipment that would be in the wellness center. started to put some numbers together there, some pricing for us. I had another, obviously the change order we had to do for the water tank that we're doing for the splash pad. Splash pad has got to go through the roof. I know they've already got, I think they got the heating element inside there already, electrical, got a paint inside it, and that building will get finished up pretty quick. I think we're starting to do some fill around the exterior where they had dug out. So I'm pretty excited. I think you'll see more and more progress as the next couple of months roll out on that building, putting up studs and all that. So I'm good.
All right, next up on the rec center update, and fees listed?
Yeah, I didn't know if you guys wanted to get into that tonight or not. I've got, I do have a document just showing what we kind of went over the last time. Just where we landed with, being $25 a month, that includes auxiliary gym, the main gym, track, wellness center, game room, and then $75 a month. And I cleared up the household fee thing. Just we're defining a household as the head of household, your legal spouse, and any children that are 18 years old and under. And then we just ask for proof of residency, so we don't care how many kids it is. It's just as long as they can show that they live in the same household. And then we are still, I guess, considering the track fee. I'm not sure on that, but I did put a little note in here about seniors can walk on the track for free during morning hours, and we'll just kind of have to determine what those hours are. But so if they didn't want to get a membership, we could still let them walk on the track for free.
The nice thing about the track is it's above the gym, so they're not going to be interfering with anything activity that's going on in either the half court or the full court downstairs. It's separate entry upstairs to get into it. So I think it could almost be, people could be walking in.
Yeah, the only hesitation I have with having a fee just particularly for the track is because, if we do that, how do we know they're not going down and using the gym and doing everything else? I mean, it's going to be hard to kind of keep up with people. So I feel like, just having if you just want to pay the daily fee or monthly fee or whatever, just to use the gym and the track and the game room, I feel like that's more than fair. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. And I know we still have to talk about non-resident fees and city staff reduced rates if that's something we want to do, or families, or so. We don't have to get all of that tonight. I know we don't have a lot of time with talking about the master plan stuff. But I did want to mention we came up with some proposed rental rates for the different rooms in the gym and everything that's in there. So I guess I can just send that out to you guys, and you can look it over, and then maybe we can talk about it at the next regular meeting in May, if that works for you guys, or we can talk about it tonight. It doesn't matter to me. But, so.
Yeah, I guess get us the update with it, and this is comparable to fees that are in other communities.
Yeah, we've looked a lot of the comparable rec centers, a lot of the ones in Nashville, Gallatin, places like that we've tried to compare to. So they're right in line with that. So.
We don't have the print screen. Just send it to us.
I sent everything except for the proposed rental rates originally through the email, so I'll just send this one out to you. That's all I've got on the fees, unless, like I said, you want to get into that. And like I mentioned, as part of the master plan, they've evaluated all of the fees that we have for all of our facilities and stuff. They've got how it compares to other cities surrounding us and stuff. That's part of the master plan, so we can I know we wanted to discuss all of our fees, but like I mentioned in the email out to you guys, I think it might be better just to wait until the May meeting, just in consideration of time, I guess, to go over all that. Plus, we'll have the final draft, and we can actually see all that. So,
all at one time would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anybody from the other departments have anything to add for your reports you want to highlight for us?
No, we did well in spring volleyball as a result of the change in the soccer season, so that was unfortunate, but also nice for our numbers this year. And then we also have had a quick turnaround in our men's basketball program. Registration's been open for a few weeks, and we had to close it 3 weeks early because we hit our max team limit.
That's good. Okay. Steve?
We just been really busy with some maintenance, greenway maintenance, ball field maintenance, and, fixing to start mowing here pretty quick, so it's fixing to get pretty busy for us.
I want to mention we're working on painting all the 2 front pavilions and stuff, so they're going to look a lot better here pretty
In the
soon.
city park.
Yeah, because they look pretty rough, so that'll be nice.
All right, moving on to new business and the master plan presentation.
I'll just turn that over to Ashley and let her go over that. Oh,
While you're doing that, I'm Ashley Akers, and this is Monica Gilliam. We're with Kinley Horn, and we're the ones doing the 10-year White House comprehensive Parks and Recreation Master Plan. So the goal of this plan is to serve as a long-range strategy plan for decision-making and financial investments as it relates to White House's parks and recreation system for the next 10 years. This plan is required by TDEC in order for municipalities to be eligible for grant funding. So that's why we're here tonight. And public input is also required by TDEC, and so that's why we're having our public open house. And here's a snapshot of the plan content. The TDEC requirements within this plan are the public engagement, SWOT, facility inventory and analysis, approval by the Leisure Service Board, and adopted by the Board of Commissioners. The community engagement section includes the public survey that was open for 4 weeks, the SWOT workshop held with the Leisure Service Board, and interviews with staff and stakeholder groups in the community. Here's a highlight of the public survey. There were 722 survey responses. The top desired programs and events were swimming, pickleball, adult sports, walking, cooking, and crafts. And the top desired facilities were aquatics, pickleball courts, greenways, and skate parks. And additionally, the most utilized facilities were the greenways. So a little overview of the SWOT. It is a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats assessment. Some highlights from there were the dedication of the staff and the volunteers in the community, the greenways, and the existing amenities in the park system. Some of the weaknesses were the aging facilities, because most of the funding goes towards new facilities, a lack of programming, as we've heard tonight, and multi-purpose sports courts, aligning with what we've heard tonight. So some opportunities are partnerships in the community and the surrounding area, expand the programming with the New Rec Center, communication to the public about events, and fill in the connectivity gaps along the greenway. Some of the threats were the rapid growth and expansion of the population, not being able to keep up with development, and uncertainty of funding as priorities in the future could change. And finally, the over-privatization, the over-privatization of parks. And finally, we have the benchmark analysis slide. And these are all on the boards too. These are just the key highlights. So this is metrics done by the National Recreation and Parks Association Board. Not every, but most municipalities in the United States fill these out. This is where they pull their metrics from. And these are the metrics that we use to review White House's existing conditions and compare them against the national average and jurisdictions with less than 20,000 residents. We have the facility inventory and analysis, and this is just a map of all the existing facilities and inventories in White House, and it gives you a clear picture of where everything is, and this also allows us to look at where there's gaps in services in terms of park space. This is just one example slide. We have the snippets of all the existing facilities and amenities there, and we inventoried them and then provided recommendations. This is going to be one of the interactive elements tonight. There are spaces for additional recommendations underneath all of the existing facilities, and there are pencils and sticky notes. So if you see anything on there that you would like to recommend, that you think is a need in the community, please write that down and put that on the board. And additionally, I should add, for this one, this is also an interactive board. If you are a community member and you know that there's a need, there's an underserved community, or you have some Greenway Connection examples, please write that down on a sticky note and put that on the board as well. We went over a program assessment, so we inventoried all the existing programs. We looked at the life cycle, the age segment, gap analysis, comparing what were high priorities on the survey and what is not currently offered. In addition, what is currently offered and what the public would like to see more of, and duplication of services. I'll go through this one pretty quickly. We talked to staff and we looked at the best practices in the field and the NRPA metrics and provided recommendations for the staff. We also did a financial analysis of what I'm talking about. We looked at what the rates are now and if they're comparable, below average, or higher than the surrounding communities. And then I will turn it over to the open house. Are you guys voting for adjournment first, or we're going to do open house?
Yeah, I think we can just go through the open house first, and we can do that official thing at the end, I guess. Okay. Perfect.
If you have any questions, please see me or Annika. We are happy to answer them, and about the boards or the plan. And we'll pull up these two boards back here, and all of the interactive boards will be up here, and then a deeper dive in the metrics I gave will be back there. So, thank you.
Now this is your opportunity to take a look at what's there for each of the facilities and write your ideas. So pickleball is one of them, right? Put a sticky note there where you want to see it. Right?
Knitting and cooking is another one.
The Greenway expansion with the ideas of where you thought that would be, or where you'd like to see different things, put that information there as well. This is your opportunity to do that.
I guess if we wanted to go down there and tackle some questions, I guess, right?
Okay.
When you have popcorn, it's
Yeah, like favorite
Thank you. not, most of the season, like cancel our season, and then except for the little bit slot in the very last year. I'm still good. We're hosting 80 to 90 teams tournament, which is give you a picture of the parking tournament, parking lot, the field, all over the place. Hope so. It always rains. Whenever we have our tournament, it last fall. The road coming out of the park around for several days after our tournament. The playground, the sign is good for mine.
What's that? No, you can. To do what?
Did everybody sign in?
Hey, quick question, folks. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We do appreciate you being here and providing input. It's unusual for us to have a crowd at the Parks Leisure Services Board meeting. Come on back, please. But if you haven't signed in at the sheet at the back of the room, please do so. We really need that for grant writing and that type of thing, so please let us know that you've been here.